guys, so this is my third video, I think so. One of you asked me to do, well, not one of you, but a couple of you have actually asked me to do a coming out story, and I've done a coming out video before, but it was on my old channel and it was kind of choppy and disorganized. So I'm going to talk about how I came out. So it's really hard to say like a specific date because when I was younger, I actually had like a few friends who, I think I was like 12, maybe I was 13, 12 or 13 when I had my first girlfriend. And she was so pretty. She lived like right across the street from me. And we were in her room one day and we were just talking about something random, like I don't even know what it was. Oh, we were laying down on her bed, I think, yeah. And we were just like looking at something, and then all of a sudden she just like leaned over and kissed me. And I was kind of like, oh, well, what's this? Like it's so wrong. And at the time, I was so sheltered. I was homeschooled up until the 8th grade, so I was so sheltered. And I didn't even know that like you could, even at 12 years old, I didn't even know that you could date a girl if you were a girl, or you could kiss them or like whatever. Because when I was growing up, I lived in a very like liberal household. So like my parents, well, not so much my dad, but my mom was very like, oh my gosh, like it's two girls dating and like they're two girls. So I was kind of scared, like if I had a friend that was, you know, of color or just whatever, she'd always make a comment about how they were like bad. Or if I had a friend, I didn't even have friends who were gay, so I didn't even know that like being gay was a thing. And of course when I found out, I was like, oh my god, like I'm going to be murdered if I ever choose to do this. So it was really scary. But back to the story. So we were on her bed and we started kissing. And I know at one point she said, okay, so we're dating. And like I said, I was very young, so I didn't really know like what dating meant, what being gay meant. I was just like, oh, whatever, you know, we're dating. Like, but yeah, and that lasted about, I don't even know how long it lasted, to be honest. It was kind of all a blur. Like I was so young. So, but I know that I was very open about the fact that I was gay, like to my friends at least. Like to my parents, absolutely not. Let's see. I remember saying that I was seriously bisexual my freshman year of high school. So I was about 15, I want to say. Yeah, I was like 15. And I wonder, I told my best friend, I talked about her before, he is transgender, and, but at the time, he wasn't out either, so it was kind of like a thing that we helped each other with. And I remember telling him first, I think, that I was like bisexual and into girls, and then I had my first girlfriend She was a long distance thing, and we dated. Oh wow, we dated for like 8 months. Like, it was a good while. But yeah, and then the first adult I came out to was my mom. Like, if you don't know this about me, I'm just gonna use this as like a get to know me video too. Like, if you don't know this about me, I don't talk to my mom because she was very like toxic and emotionally and like just very abusive. And I left home and I haven't spoken to her, so I don't refer to her as my mother because like, there's no bond. Like, I recognize that she's the person who gave birth to me and, you know, gave me life. But I consider my stepmom to be my mom because she's the one who, like, taught me the adult things. Like I said, I was very sheltered, so I kind of knew nothing, like, about the world. So she's kind of the one who took on that role. So I refer to her as my mom a lot. But, my biological mom, we were coming home from the store one day, and at this point I'd had a girlfriend, like a serious girlfriend, for, I want to say like 2 months. Yeah. And we were just coming home from the store, and I stopped on the porch and I opened the door and I looked back at her and I was like, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend. And I just continued walking and kind of just left her like standing there like, what? But then after we got to talking about it, she's like, you know, whatever, like, I'm totally cool with it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And then, you know, I told her about her and all this stuff. Let's see. The second person I came out to, like, adult-wise, was my Nana. And she's like the worst person to come out to. Like, oh my gosh. She's a pastor at a church. And, you know, honestly, she was like the last person I wanted to tell, because I thought for sure, oh my god, you're going to hell, like all this junk. However, I was eating dinner with her, my 2 younger sisters, and my best friend, and we were like visiting for the summer and whatever, and I was like, so, I have a girlfriend. She's like, what? Like, she thought I meant friend. I was like, no, like, I want to make out with her. And she's like, oh, but I thought you liked guys. And it was just a very awkward conversation. I'm like the queen of awkwardly telling people I'm gay. Like, oh my god. But at the time, I was still bisexual. I still labeled as bisexual because I was still kind of confused, like what everything meant. So I didn't want to rule out guys entirely because I thought, oh, well, everyone's saying it's a phase, so like, what if it is, you know? Like, what if I meet a really attractive guy and I'm like, oh, you know, I could have your babies. But no, that didn't go over too well. But she accepted it, and she made it very known. She would just constantly make side comments like, oh, you know, you and your girlfriend could like do this, or you could like, oh my gosh, you should show your girlfriend that. Like, just very, very accepting and open about it. And there's still times where I'll see her and be like, oh wait, so are you still gay? And I'm like, yeah, still gay. Rainbow. And then who else did I come out to? Well, the most recent, actually no, that's a lie. I told my stepmom that I was gay, and she was kind of like, oh, no, you're not. like, you're not gay. You just haven't, you're still a virgin or whatever. And I was like, well, not technically, but sure, if you want to classify that as, a man and a woman, then yeah, I'm a virgin. But, like, I don't know, I feel like she's very opinionated, but once you, like, make it known that that's who you are and that's not gonna change, you have to kind of prove yourself that you're, like, serious about it. Because, like, we have the same sense of humor, so, she thought it was, like, a joke, or, like, I was just like, whatever, drunk kiss a girl, we've all done it. Maybe that's not true, but I kind of told her, I was just like, I was actually just over there and I was talking to her about Tarina, and I was like, yeah, so, when my girlfriend comes to visit and blah, 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 I was like, just random shit, and she's like, oh, yeah, and we were just talking about her name and everything, and then I was like, well, you better learn it, because she's gonna come here, and then she's like, she's not gonna, like, come anywhere, and I was like, oh my god, but she was, like, joking about it. She accepts it. She doesn't think differently of me, I don't think. I could be wrong, I don't know, but she's just her. She's supportive, and, like, she loves me, so whatever. But I think, who else did I come out to? Alright, we'll do my dad last. We'll do his reaction last. The next person was my older sister. My older sister is very religious, so she kind of goes by, like, the typical, marriages between a man and a woman, all that mumbo jumbo, and I'm kind of just like, millennial, like, I don't care, love is love, whatever. So, I told her, and it was kind of the same reaction, like, it's a phase, or you'll see, whatever, and I was like, okay. And then I remember after that, but I was still bisexual at the time, I still labeled as bisexual. So after that, I started dating a guy, and she's kind of like, oh, I'm so glad you found a guy, I thought you were gonna, like, date a girl, and all this, and I'm just like, I know, right? But no. But she's kind of like, but I label myself as a Christian, like, like, I go to church, I believe in God, I don't really listen to the whole, oh, if you date a girl, you're gonna go to hell, that type of thing. So she's like, well, I thought you were a Christian, like, but you're dating a girl. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Yep. But, I try to be respectful of, like, people's opinions and whatever, as long as they're not hurtful or rude. Because if they're hurtful or rude, I'll straight up tell you and be like, listen, shut up. It's my life. I'm going to do what I want and kiss who I want, so sucks for you. But no, and then the last person that I recently came out to, this was in the past, like, couple of weeks, after my label is, like, fully gay was solidified, me and my dad were just sitting in the living room, and we were kind of talking just about life, and he said something about, when you get married to, like, you'll meet a man, and I was like, or a woman, and we both, like, had a little bit to drink, so I was kind of feeling, adventurous, and I was like, or a woman, and he's like, or a woman, and it just shocked me, because he went on to say, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I got really super emotional, and he just went on to say, like, I love and accept you no matter what, no matter who you're with. The same rules will apply. They have to treat you right, and if they hurt you, I'll break their face. But no, he was just super supportive. And then I told him that my girlfriend was coming to visit, and he's like, yeah, I want to meet her and like all this stuff. I'll give her the talk. And I was like, please tell me you don't mean that talk. But no, he was just very, very supportive and said, I will support you no matter what. And that was that. And I think his opinion is probably the one that means the most to me. Like, my other family or whatever, like, they can say what they want. They can whatever, but if my dad isn't happy with what I'm doing, then I feel like I'm really doing something wrong. So I think if he had said something about being gay, I wouldn't have felt as confident as I do now. Like, I know that it's still a personal choice and, you know, you're free to love who you love, but, like, he would make comments, too, about me having kids, and I was like, well, I don't think I want to ever bear children. I'll adopt children. But I think as far as having them myself goes, I don't think I'll take that route. And tonight, he was kind of saying, his friend was like, oh, you know, she's 20 now, you're going to have grandkids soon. And he's like, she doesn't want kids. She's focused on her career and, you know, living her life. And I was kind of just like really proud because it meant that he listened to me. And I think that's the most important thing about coming out stories, is that your family wants the best for you and they want to listen to you, and they'll tell someone, you know, she's gay, I support her. And, you know, I heard, like, before I really knew that, you know, you could be gay or that not everybody was accepting of people who were gay. Like, I've heard stories about kids who were kicked out of their houses or, you know, told they didn't deserve to live, or just really, really horrible things. And I'm fortunate because my coming out story is mostly a good one. It's kind of cloudy here and there, but, you know, my family does support me, and, you know, I fully believe that they're going to love my girlfriend just as much as they love me. You know, when they see her, they're not going to, you know, say something rude, or they're just going to look at her as a human. So, yeah, it's awful that not all parents can love and accept their kids, because when you bring a kid into this world, or if you adopt a kid, you commit to making sure that that child is happy. And you know what? If someone of the same sex happens to make them happy, then who the F are you to judge? Like, you have no right to judge them. Maybe on the inside, you know, you can judge them all you want on the inside, but never say to them, you are not accepted, or get out of my house, or you're gross, or just any derogatory things. Like, that's not okay. And if in the off chance that there are parents watching this, like, I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, I'm not telling you how to parent, but if your child comes to you and says, Mom, I'm gay, Dad, I'm gay, you know, Uncle Schmidt, I'm gay, just please, for the love of all that is holy, say, okay, you do you. End of discussion. They're not going to throw it in your face. Maybe if they're assholes, they will. Like, oh, I'm so gay. Like, look at this. But, for the most part, as long as you respect them, they will respect you. Like, I don't understand why the world is filled with so much judgment and pure, you know, people being unaccepting of each other, and it's 2017. Why are we still judging people? Why are we judging our kids? Why are we judging the people we see walking down the street? It boggles my mind. It seriously does. And yeah, that's my coming out story and my words of advice. This video is far too long, so I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, please like and subscribe, because you are the reason I do this. You are the reason I wake up every day. You're the reason I have a reason to wake up every day, because I know that there's people out there who I can help and who I can talk to personally, and even the small amount of interaction that I've already gotten has helped me so much. When I feel sad, I think to myself, okay, well, if I wasn't here, then would that person have, been sad if they didn't see my video, or just something? So please continue to come to this channel, because I promise it's a safe place. And I promise I will do everything in my power to make sure you guys feel loved and accepted. Share this video with your friends. Share it with your family. Like, use this as your coming out. Not even kidding. My whole spiel about how parents need to accept their kids, use it, because it is the truth. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you to bits. My Instagram and my Tumblr will be linked down below if you want to check that out. Have a good night. Love you guys.